I am your host, Doc Rodden, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-hosts Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, and Dave Dreher, and I will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. With me this week are my co-hosts, starting off with Jeff Mohr. Jeff, how you doing?
I am your father, Mommy.
Run! Run away!
What was that? No.
Run!
It's not awful you get to be there when an aneurysm actually kicks in.
Nar. Okay. There's a flashback to a show.
Well, by the way, we have an award-winning cast member in each of the films we're doing this week.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, that's
didn't help. All right. Well, we have some more people to introduce. Jeff, let's do this. Also joining us this week is Crystal Cleveland, the living dead girl. Crystal, how you doing?
I guess I'm okay.
You guess
I'm okay after this week. I don't know. I'm like, I was like, Halloween has been ruined. No, I'm just kidding.
Halloween has been ruined. Oh wow.
I'm kidding.
Well,
maybe they
2 weeks to recover.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is not shining a very bright light on our films tonight, but hey, that kind of stuff happens. All right, rounding out the crew is my co-host from H&R, Dave Dreher. Dave, how you doing?
Hello, everyone. I'm good, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm not quite as downtrodden as everyone else, but
yes, but you're no shy at being vocal about these films.
No, not at all.
Not at all. All right, we have two films to discuss tonight. The first one is Gwen, which is coming to, I forgot to put the release notes down for this one. I believe it's coming to Shudder later this fall.
You'd be correct.
Tomorrow, correct. I think.
Tomorrow, even, as we are recording. Oh, my.
So you got 24 hours to cancel that subscription. So you don't have to watch this
no,
thing.
don't do that. Don't say that. Don't even say that. We'll get there. Dave, I know how you feel. We'll get there. All right. From director William McGregor, and all apologies to him. Straight up front. The second movie is Little Monsters from Abe Forsythe, and this movie is available now on Hulu. So two films that you could watch and then listen to our reviews and then, later on, share your thoughts with us with your feedback, because we want to hear, because, it's going to be a fun one, boys and girls. Yes, the booze and ghouls, right? All right.
Oh God, wow.
Was that bad?
No.
Yeah, no.
It's actually making me kind of happy. So.
Is it? You like? Well,
yeah.
You got to recover from the films, because you added a third one to your mix, didn't you?
Yeah.
So look for the review for that one.
No, don't.
The film that shall not be named. Yeah. All right. All right. Let's dive into our first film, which is Gwen. It stars Eleanor Worthington Cox, Maxine Peake, and Mark Lewis Jones, from director William McGregor. It is, like we said, coming to Shudder this very week as we're recording. It's an atmospheric art house folktale set in the hills of Wales during the Industrial Revolution, meaning that Dave would like to stay as far away from this film as humanly possible, and he is going to be here to tell us why. But let's find out from the rest of the crew what first impressions are, because there's a chance somebody may like this movie. Gwen, let's start off with the one and only Jeff Mohr. Jeff, what is your first impression of Gwen?
I'm not sure where to start.
Neither did it. So,
yeah. So I'm going to start out positive. I didn't mind this film at all. We had some text back and forth, and it is extremely slow moving, very atmospheric, very lots of gorgeous, I think, cinematography. It's set in a very strange place in Wales that I think is actually like a national park, but for where coal mines were. And so the landscape is it's just drab, right? And somehow, I kind of felt like even though the colors were really drab, it was kind of saturated in some ways as well. So anyway, I like the cinematography. I like the scenery. I liked the acting. Both the daughter and the mother were very good, as was Mark Lewis Jones as the, in my notes, I call him the evil bastard. He has a name in the credits, but I don't ever hear anybody use it. But he's sort of the mine, the rich mine owner that's trying to force the single mother out so he could take over the farm. He's already gotten rid of 2 out of the 3 people. It kind of reminded me that sort of setting kind of reminded me of the old, Westerns with the cattle barons, only this was the coal mine owner in Wales trying to get rid of any farmers. This is not a horror movie by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, IMDb calls it a drama history mystery, which is I don't even know if it's a mystery.
Well, there are a couple of dream sequences that hint toward something a little more supernatural or witchy going on. Right?
A little bit, but it's not there, I don't think. I mean, it seems to me it's more of a, if you want to call it a horror film, it's more socioeconomic horror about the wealthy doing whatever the hell they want to the downtrodden. And this family just has this long string of things that's happened to them that are, most of which are, they had no control over whatsoever. And they just keep getting beat down and beat down and beat down. There is some mayhem, a little bit of violence, but it's not a horror film. But after saying all that, I enjoyed it. I did not lag on it. I laid down and watched it last night about midnight, and I didn't get drowsy. I was kind of fascinated by the historic setting and the scenery and that kind of stuff. But they do, it's like there's no shortcuts here at all. Like if they walk 3 miles into town, you go with them while they walk 3 miles into town, it seems like. And I think the director, I'm not sure what he's doing, but like these super slow pans of like the camera slowly moving and very slowly coming around a corner doesn't create suspense if there's no payoff. And most of the time there wasn't. And when there was, you couldn't really see it, and you had to kind of guess what was going on, at least from my point of view. So, having said all that, I kind of enjoyed it, but there was some great potential for it being horror. Now, one of the things I was thinking as I was watching it is that this might have been a much better short. And then I read that it was supposed to be a feature-length development of a short that the director made called Who's Afraid of the Water Sprite? So I looked that up. It's 18 minutes, and there's no relation whatsoever that I could see. I don't know who put that in the trivia, but it's about a woman and her daughter, but it's much more horror. Somebody is shackling up the woman in a hideaway at night because she's going to change. And the daughter finds out, and this water sprite convinces the daughter that this guy's being terrible to the mother. And the daughter goes there, and when she's there, the mother goes, gets a real nice set of teeth, and which was a much better, much scarier scene than anything we saw in this film. So I'm kind of rambling on, but I enjoyed the acting and I enjoyed the cinematography. I'll say that. And I thought the story was okay, but it's not a horror movie.
It's not a horror movie. Yes, we'll get more into that after our first thoughts, but let's continue with those. Dave Dreher, what is your first thoughts for Gwen?
Boy, I'm not sure I can properly express them. Yeah, this again, my disdain for the art house blah 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 movies is well documented, but really this even has nothing to do with that. This is just a really bad movie. I mean, nothing happens. Jeff is being incredibly gracious by saying it's slow. This thing doesn't move. It's comatose. It's just nothing. There's nothing there. Nothing. 000. And every chance they got to maybe build some suspense, like when that oil baron guy or whoever he was comes to the house and there was some, potential for maybe some excitement. And nothing happened. They make the girl stand outside and they go inside and we stay outside with the girl and kind of just blissfully stand there and nothing happens. Yeah, this was a total 100% waste. I would rather watch 48 hours of Rob Zombie movies than ever have to watch this piece of shit again.
Ooh.
It's nothing. Seriously, this was nothing. This will likely be my lowest rated film ever since we've been doing this doc for however many years we've been doing it.
Wow, that is a glowing review.
Yeah. But with that being said, it was because we were kind of texting as we were watching it, while we were. I think Crystal, you and I think we were kind of watching it simultaneously.
Yeah.
And it does look pretty. I mean, it's obvious the people who were making it know what they're doing. There was just nothing there. It was the cinematic equivalent of watching paint dry. So, I wish I could. Yeah, I feel you, Dave. I feel you, but there might be
another.
No. Oh my goodness.
Crystal, just let this movie die. Just let it die, okay?
I pulled the plug. Let it go.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I have to agree. It's beautiful. Like I'd said when we were texting, I was like, it's pretty. It's a pretty movie. I see that. I see the value it has there. But I completely agree with Dave. Oh my God. Like, it was hard for me to watch this. That's why I think I texted or I messaged first, like when I was like 40 minutes in, because I was hoping when y'all had watched it and you were going to give me hope that something was coming. Something, and nothing. The acting was good too. Yeah, I agree with that. That was fine, but it was horribly boring. Oh God, as I was watching, I was like, okay, it's cool. It's totally going to pay off. It's going to be like, really cool at the end. Nope. Actually, at the end, I just wound up being depressed. I was like, that's even worse than what I agree with Jeff that it's a socioeconomic issue there. It's really pretty shitty, actually, what obviously happens to this family.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, boy. I don't think any horror movie lovers that want a horror movie are gonna. You're not gonna want to watch this as a horror movie because it's just not. Actually, both the movies this week are not horror movies. Yeah.
Well, one of them's a little closer. It's a little closer. It's actually got something horror in it.
Yeah, there's blood. There's blood.
There's blood
in the second one.
Zombies and
we got a couple decapitated heads. Yeah.
But anyway. So Gwen for me was all right. So yes, the problem is that I'm Shudder. I don't know. We love you.
Yes.
We love what you put on here, but this is a very questionable addition to what is on that streaming service because it belongs more on like Lifetime or something like that. I mean, it's definitely heavy drama. I mean, it is like like Jeff said, it is gorgeous, right? The cinematography is beautiful to look at, and Worthington Cox, the young actress who plays Gwen, is captivating, and she kept it from being something that was maybe at least for me as poor as Dave is describing. So I was fascinated with just how she was reacting to everything. But it's there are two scenes in it that kind of promise something a little horrific. And they're both nightmares, or where she wakes up from the lightning. There's one scene where the lightning strikes and her mom is like hiding in the corner watching. And then that was, there was some uber creepy things going on there, especially the way it's shot. And you definitely feel you're in the time. So, I mean, as the film that it, for a fan of straight up drama films, I would imagine the audience is ripe for that. As a film for horror fans on a horror streaming channel, it's a misfire. It's definitely deflated. You know, there's, like you said, even Rob Zombie films. Well, if you're a Rob Zombie fan, that's going to be a great.
See, I like Rob Zombie, of course, obviously. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's called Undeniably Powerful, stark and haunting, gorgeous, slow burn, stunning and atmospheric, melancholy and unnerving.
That's fair. I think that's kind of that's all kind of fair. Really.
Yeah,
but
as a drama,
boring.
right? Right. But it also is boring.
You can add mine in there, a thunderous bowel movement.
Thunderous. Adding thunderous to that is really quite frightening. I will say that I did like. There is a line in here that I thought was fantastic. There's a line in here where her mom says, "You know, you steal a sheep and they cut off your hand. You steal a mountain and they make you not a king, but a lord. Steal a mountain and they make you a lord." Which could very well be the synopsis of this film.
Yeah, as far as the message or the theme.
Yeah. And in that case, you know, it is horrific, like you said, from a social way of what, you know, the men in power can do to this family of women, and it's pretty depressing, to say the least, right, Crystal?
Well, yeah, and they're preying on this poor family of you know, a mother and her two daughters. It's like, what pieces of poop, you know? So in that regard too, it's just super depressing. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, and they happen to be the last ones in line, right? Because it starts out with the family that lives next door, and we learn are victims of them. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And before we get to deep dive into this, which won't be long, just saying, Jeff, I do believe the guy's name was uttered by the doctor a couple times because he had to answer to him, and he did mention his name, but couldn't tell you what the name was. But we have seen the actor quite a few times in recent films. I was trying to think. There's one that we watched on Netflix a year or maybe two ago.
A year or two ago.
Yeah.
Oh, Apostle. That's exactly what I was thinking.
And he is incredible in that. So, yeah, of course, he Last Jedi, he got blown up in the ship, right?
Did he?
Yeah, Captain Canady. Yeah, he was the one that he was in the big ship that got blown up at the very beginning. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's move on. Okay, Dave, like you said, a thunderous, steaming pile of whatever. at least give us a bone here that the girl's performance was interesting.
Yeah, I've already said that. Yeah, I mean, it's from a technical standpoint, it's a beautifully made film. You know, it really is, and yeah, she is she's very good. I mean, she really truly is. What she gets to do. I mean, really, all she does a lot is brood and scream for her mom and look scared. But you know, I mean, what she's given to work with. I mean, you really do feel for the family and the hardships that they're going through, trying to keep their land. Kudos to whoever built that giant stone fence that goes on for eons. I wonder if that was already there or if they actually constructed that for the shoot, because that was rather impressive.
I hope it was already there because
I don't know. Yeah, it was yeah. So, but that was rather impressive. But again, I guess it just depends on how you want to look at this movie. As we've so adequately stated, it's not a horror film, and to sell it as such and put it on an all horror streaming service, and then to give us that, you know, that'd be fine. I mean, if this was on Sundance or if it was on A&E or one of those other ones,
Criterion, right? Yeah,
yeah, something that shows that artsy fartsy shit, then you know, I'm sure there's something there for somebody. But for those of us sitting here on the 16th of October in the middle of the haunt season, and you put that piece of crap on, you know, it's not a horror movie. If you're trying to sell it as a horror movie, you're lying. So, but I'm sure there's worth to somebody in this, just not to me.
I can see it on the poster now. Gwen. I'm not even going to say it. Crystal, you know, it was compared to The Witch. So we were going in knowing that, you know, that they had that comparison. And there are times when the mom does things that could be considered witchy, like breaking up skulls and throwing them out.
Well, I think they were drugging her, is what my assumption was. She was losing it.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I think they were like drugging her, right? That was the point. I mean,
I think so. And she,
Yeah. that's why she was having the seizures and getting sick and all that. Yeah.
but she
Mhm.
also, like, when the sheep die, you know, she grabs one of the sheep skulls and then spreads it out in front of her lawn, in front of the doors. I mean,
Yeah, she's doing some, folk, I don't know, spells or something, but it never comes off as full witch-like. There's
exactly.
more of a superstitious, right?
Superstitious. Yeah. And that's what I'm getting to is asking is Crystal is like, because you kept texting, is this going to go anywhere? Is this going to go anywhere? Were you looking for it to go that direction, or where did you want it to go?
Okay. This is quite a question. Where did I want it to go? What I would have liked is for her to honestly be a witch and get some vengeance on those buttheads. I mean, it was obvious that they were pressuring her anyway, and so it would have been a good little twist if there would have been something supernatural, behind it. I mean, once again, we have this story, and I know it's starting to become overused now, where you've got the daughter's coming of age, and then it's like, oh, it's like these witchy movies where the daughter is coming of age, but at least that would have given me something.
There's lots of opportunity for that. Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting. You asked Crystal.
Go right in. Jump in.
No. Yeah, please. Yeah, no, come on. I was like, no, because really, I'm just like, yeah.
Well, there's lots of opportunities. I mean, the slaughtered sheep. My take was the story's told from Gwen's point of view. So there's a lot of quote unquote adult stuff her mother, nobody tells her. Her mother keeps from her. So she's just left to imagine what the hell's going on. Even when she goes into town and tries to sell some produce and everybody shuns her, is that because they think she's a witch, or is that because they're threatened by the evil bastard? And in the end, I assumed it was threatened by the evil bastard, but he could have been telling stories too. But anyway, yeah, there was lots of opportunity to create some supernatural stuff there to heighten the tension and the menace, but they didn't take it.
Well, jump on that. Is it? Some people describe it as pretentious. Is it?
It's a simple story. I mean,
I didn't feel it was pretentious. Actually, I didn't feel like it was. I didn't feel like it was one of those movies where they were trying to do it because, it's so artistic, which is kind of weird because it seems like it would be that kind of movie. But I didn't feel like it was shoved down my throat. I just think because it was, honestly, even to me, it wasn't completely quiet enough for that. It wasn't as boring as some of the more boring ones. Does that make sense?
I don't know how you put that on the box.
Yeah.
And you guys said nothing happens, but nothing catastrophic happens. But all these little things keep happening to him. The father's away at war is what they depict, and the mother starts to get sick and have seizures, and the sheep are slaughtered, and then some of the crops are bad, and then they're shunned at the market, and they don't have money for the medicine, and then the horse is injured, and they have to slaughter it, and kind of hard to farm without a horse, so.
Right. And that all plays into the whole, like, they hurt the horse, they took their sheep. They're basically, making them destitute. It's kind of just a sad story. And it was sweet. Kind of the relationship between the mother and the daughters was sweet, at moments. And it was very sad, and how she didn't tell the daughter about, so it had a little bit more that kept me interested than some of the more boring ones. Like, what was it, Hagazusa or whatever? Like, that was.
I was going to compare it to that.
Yeah, because it reminded me of that at points. I was like, that was straight up. That was worse than this one, I think. I mean, just because it was just really boring.
Really boring. Also, Hagazuzu also on Shudder. Let's grab on that before we wrap this up. Dave, I'm giving you a soapbox. With this movie, what do you want to tell Shudder?
Well, again, it just wasn't for me. I mean, as an evidence from Jeff and I sitting here on this same discussion, and, Jeff was finding things in this that made it worth his while, but it wasn't for me. I knew it wasn't for me when I went into it. I only watched it because you made me. Last night when we were talking, again, this is another one of those. I think I said something along the lines when you all say you like The Witch so much, this is the bullshit we got to put up with, and that's what it comes down to. Now everyone's like, oh, I can make a go nothing, go nowhere, and it'll look really pretty, but it really won't tell a story that anyone gives a shit about. I can do that, and maybe I'll put a talking moose in it, and it'll be frightening. And it's kind of the same. Yeah, or whatever. Black Phillip was the big thing in the Witch. We didn't even get that in this. I think Shudder needs to keep doing what Shudder does. Like you mentioned that Who's a Zulu movie. I seen that on there, and I watched the trailer. I went, big bag of nope, and just went right past it. So, I don't think they should do anything. They should keep appealing to all the different eclectic tastes the horror community has, and those of us that don't like it can just go watch something else.
All right.
That's fair.
Please vote for Dave in the 2020 election. That was very... let's wrap this up. Let's give our final thoughts, our score, favorite scene for Gwen, and Jeff, yours, starting us off.
Well, I mentioned at the beginning that there was award-winning cast members in each of these, and Eleanor Worthington Cox, who played Gwen, is the youngest winner of the Olivier Award.
Wow. Okay, that's impressive.
Which was for Best Actress in a Musical for Matilda the Musical.
Matilda. Well,
but anyway, hey, it's an award, and I thought she did pretty good here. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than I think actually the synopsis is perfect. If that appeals to you at all, then check it out. But the thing that I think it calls itself an artful folktale, if that turns you off, then don't watch it. It is going to be one of those atmospheric art house. It's even an art house folktale. So yeah, you could take it there. But I usually like checking those out because but I have to be in the right mood. I have to be in a mood where I can give it full concentration and really look at the shot selection and the cinematography and all that stuff, because I know nothing's going to be coming at me real fast. So anyway, I enjoyed this, and you guys, somebody's going to kill me. I'm giving this a 3.
And, I thought you'd go higher, honestly.
Oh no, I like it. Favorite scene, I'm going to go with, this is an odd one, I guess, but when Mr. Wynn, or as AKA the evil bastard, collects up Gwen's mother at church and wants to talk to her, and we don't hear the conversation. We just see them, and it's obvious that he's a manipulative bully just from how he stands there, how close he's standing, how he looms over her and imposes on her, and it gave me the creeps. I knew nothing good was coming from that conversation without knowing anything else about that guy beforehand. He did a good job of exuding sleaziness.
Yes, he's done that before. So it blew some wind up your skirt then. Okay, all right.
Yeah, well, there's another scene with him where all you see is him gripping his cane, and I think it's the scene where towards the end with the mother and towards the end,
outside the door,
and that's he's just oily. All you see is his hand on his cane, and you're just thinking, what a bastard. It's a good job.
Very good. Very good. Dave Dreher, what are your final thoughts? Your score, favorite scene for Gwen?
Yeah, I didn't like this. You might find that hard to believe. I'm going to give it a 0.5, and only because.
Oh my God!
Only because somebody was actually able to convince someone that they needed to spend money to make this thing.
Oh,
so that is worthy of a half a star. Yeah, this one wasn't for me, but I do have a favorite scene, even though I give it such a horrific score.
Okay.
I did like, and this plays into the acting, but it's when our lead actress, actually, I guess this is really 2 scenes, but they kind of go together. When she has to go into the doctor and admit that she doesn't have the money for more of the therapeutic wine, and she's trying to get more, and she's just incredible. And we don't see the resolution to her plea until she walks out and she actually has the 2 bottles with her. But then in the very next scene, they come to the house and accuse her of stealing them. I just liked her, the way she played both those roles, and we really don't know if she stole it or not, actually. They never really resolved that. I want to believe she didn't, because
you're right. That's interesting.
But they never really tell us. She just walks out with it. And I'm thinking, oh, well, hey, the doctor guy's not so bad after all. And then he shows up at the house with the evil bastard, and they accuse her of taking it. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe she's just doing what she's got to do to try to help her mom.
And in between there, the evil bastard walks into the doctor's office.
Right, exactly.
So you don't know what was happening there.
Exactly. So I like that whole sequence there of that.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Again, don't take much like all you Rob Zombie fans out there, don't take my word. This movie was not this movie was not made for me. I went into this knowing I was going to hate it, and it did not disappoint.
So he read the synopsis and knew.
No way.
All right, thank you, Dave.
Knows what he likes.
Well, excellent choice on favorite scene. Just saying. All right, Crystal Cleveland, what is your final thoughts? Your score, favorite scene for Gwen.
So, yeah, I mean, God, I'm having a hard time wrapping this up. It's okay if you like boring and slow burns that don't actually pay off. I mean,
you try ripping off your fingernails and then sticking them in vinegar. It was wonderful.
Now, let me tell you though, I'm gonna give it a 1.75. So I can't the half star. Oh my God, it's killing me. Because I mean, it was a well-made movie, and I mean, that's fair. I acknowledge that. And I think some people are going to love it, I bet. Some people would be like, oh, it's so fantastic. It's just like much like Dave, it's just not my thing, which it's okay. Of course, obviously my favorite scene is when the mom chops up the horse. Obviously, like she goes a little crazy and it was kind of fun. And yeah.
She said that horse would feed them for a month. You really think those 3 little women are going to eat a whole horse in 30 days? That's a lot of horse eating. That's a lot of horse eating.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
How would the meat stay good is what I want to know. That's kind of gross, right?
They'd pack it in salt. Oh, no, you pack anything in salt, it'll be fine.
Salt it and smoke it.
Really? Is that really how they used to keep meat?
Yeah, that's how you cured it.
Turkey for 30 days, yeah. All right. Well, what am I going to say? I'm going to give this a 2. So I'm actually, that's kind of frightening. Because I do think that the performance is quite exquisite. I thought it was nuanced, and there's all this crazy stuff going on with her body language and her face, and I didn't even catch what Dave said. That now that's interesting. So, but man, it didn't do anything. I mean, we do get a kind of a something at the end. There is something there, but it doesn't amount to anything more than what you think was going to happen. But man, yeah, the cinematography is great, and I did like that. But yeah, this movie's not for me either, Dave. And I'm thinking that it's better suited for some of like Criterion or something instead of this a Shudder channel or something similar. It is not. Would you compare it to The Witch? Not in its content, but yeah, probably in its structure, right?
Yeah, the style.
In style, but not in I mean, The Witch was definitely had its supernatural moments, and and at least had you thinking that there was some danger woven in there that was of some kind of creepy nature. But this one, now, there were a couple scenes that hinted more toward what I was looking for, and okay, so that's part of it, right? I was expecting something a lot different than what I got, and that's unavoidable. especially given that, the genre in which we are trying to cover. So under different circumstances, I think there's potential to be more favorable to this because there's nothing poorly done about it other than its intention, right? Given the genre that we're covering. Favorite scene, still can only give it a 2. Favorite scene, I was really impressed. And this is with one scene with the thunderstorm. And this is kind of something I like in horror films anyway. And it's the closest thing to that in here other than, one time when she dreams her mom turns around and screams at her with an ugly face. But the inside the house is strange, right? Because her bed is actually in the living room, right? And, it can drape to close. And she's like right in front of a window. So, and then there's one bedroom for her mom. So the lightning storm lights up and she wakes up and you get the idea something's there. And it's one of those classic scenes where when the lightning strikes, you suddenly see what's hiding in the shadows. And I just like that. And they did it well.
Ooh.
All right. Well, there you go. That is our review for Gwen from director William McGregor. The cast includes Eleanor Worthington-Cox, Maxine Peake, and Mark Lewis Jones. It is coming to Shudder. More than likely, as you're listening to this, it's sitting there. So check it out if art house folktale is something that blows some wind up your skirt.
Oh.
All right.
How'd you know I had my skirt on?
Just at Chad Hunt. I'm going to. Little Monsters is arriving on Hulu, and that is a film that I personally had been looking forward to. Cast includes Lupita Nyong'o, Josh Gad, Alexander England, and concerns a washed-up musician who teams up with a teacher at a kid's personality. No, I'm going to try that again. A washed-up musician teams up with a teacher and a kids' show personality to protect young children from a sudden invasion of zombies. And the trailers made it look funny and gory and filthy because they released a red band trailer and it was full of explicatives and fun things. And from my 12-year-old nature back in my head, did I want to watch films? It just looked like a fun time. So I was looking forward to this. And we got the chance to watch this on Hulu. And we're going to review it now. I feel like I'm burying my own lead, but let's grab Crystal Cleveland here and let her give her first impression of Little Monsters.
So I thought this was a cute movie. I think that when it started, I really was a little bit confused. I wasn't exactly sure what we were watching. You start out with a man who is basically pretty much a loser boyfriend, loser brother, loser uncle. Kind of a cute character, though. Kind of funny, quirky. He has a little nephew named Felix, who is basically like the cutest kid around. I think that kid is so cute. And he does some inappropriate things with the child. Not the way you would think. Oh, God, I just realized I better not. He takes the kid out in the middle of the night and tries to go win back his ex with the kid as a Darth Vader costume. And so you could tell by me talking about this that it sounds cute and like a romantic comedy. And to me, that's what this movie was, a romantic comedy more than anything else. I know y'all are like, oh, it's a horror movie. I'm like, I like the characters. I think it was shot well. The story is, it's a story, I guess. I mean, not too much of a plot, but it doesn't really necessarily have to be. I think the few moments that we do have some gore are okay too. I mean, there was a moment where we saw a good view of one of the first zombies, and I was like, oh, that's not too bad. That's pretty good. Literally every character is kind of funny. The teacher is really cute, and the way she tries to protect the kids in her class. They're on a field trip. I think she's really charming. The relationship between her and the lead male is cute too. Then they have this. Wow, God, what was the froggy dude?
Teddy McGiggle?
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah,
he's horrible. But yeah, I mean, he gets what's coming to him, and okay, it's not great, but it's okay. It's cute. It's not. I know y'all. I just don't feel like it's horror. It's not even like Shaun of the Dead scary to me. You know, I mean, it is. It's just not scary at all. And even the few bits of horror were like, I mean, they have some intestines coming out. Oh, there was actually one pretty good scene that I enjoyed. Which I'll discuss as my favorite scene.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's quick. It's a quick watch. It felt like it went by fast, and I enjoyed it, and it was funny. So it was okay. It was okay. It was good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's find out what the rest of the crew think. Dave Dreher, what was your first impression of Little Monsters?
I'm stuck in the middle again on this one, huh? I like this one far better than Gwen. But with that being said, it's a very slow starter. I mean, we don't the whole first half hour, we're just with the loser guitar uncle dude.
Whose name is Dave? Whose name is Dave?
Yeah. He comes home and finds his girlfriend banging a coworker, and takes off. He's out playing on the streets trying to make money. He ends up moving in with his sister. All this takes forever, and it doesn't. Other than setting up the fact that he's a loser, doesn't really seem to do a whole hell of a lot for anything. It gets a little better when we get to the school. Lupita, that's her name, right? Lupita, am I saying that right?
Yes.
Yes. She's quite wonderful in this. I thought she was very cute, very fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed every minute she was on the screen, especially when she goes into zombie battle mode. She was real good there. And but I was just kind of all the way up till the end. I loved the last 15 minutes of this movie were fantastic. When we get to the point where they're on the little tractor and the zombies are all falling behind them, from that point on, it was funny. Really good. And it ended super strong for me. I mean, really, really strong. Because of that, it made me really kind of more recommend this than I thought I would. But it's a little bit of a tough watch up to that last 15 minutes.
Did you like Lupita in Us? Were you a fan of that film?
Yeah, she was good. She's just a fantastic actress. I mean, I think we're gonna pretty much like her in anything she's in. So yeah, I did, but I think I liked her in this better actually than in Us. I like this character that she played in this.
All right, that's very interesting. All right, Jeff Mohr, what is your first impression of Little Monsters?
Well, and Lupita Nyong'o is our award-winning actress in this one.
Yes, that she is.
With the Oscar from.
She was in Mohr? I didn't know that.
Yes,
she was in Mohr.
You missed that, and she got an Oscar. You didn't see it.
7 Years a Slave, or
that's it.
Okay.
I was going to say some other weird combination of numbers. I'm old. But she was excellent. I'm kind of along with what Dave and Crystal said, in that the first 20 minutes seems like is all about developing Dave's character as a self-absorbed asshole. Was really irritating. The scenes where he and his girlfriend are yelling no matter where they were, I don't know. It was irritating. And that's probably what it was supposed to be, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we get it after like 10 minutes of it. You get it. After the second time they show us playing on the street corner, it's like, okay, got it, loser. I understand.
Yep. It's such a wonderful tone from that blind V. But anyway, so yeah, that could have been shortened, but the rest of it I kind of enjoyed. Sort of starting with. And I'm not going to say I like the scene where he goes back to his girlfriend's to try to propose to her, and she's having sex with her coworker. But I loved the kid as Darth.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he's
Vader.
amazing. That's
the kid
one of my
was
favorite
awesome.
Oh my god, and the way he stays in character, even when
Yes, which is where I was trying to pull that line from at the beginning of the show. He says that.
Oh,
I am your father, mommy, and I just fell on the floor laughing. And then I started to figure out, let's see, how could that happen? How could he be her father and she be his mommy? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so I enjoyed that. I didn't have a problem with Josh Gad. I mean, he played the worst case stereotype of a self-absorbed kid celebrity that didn't care about the kids and only cared about the money. But I didn't have a particular problem with his performance. But I'm with Crystal. I thought it was kind of cute. It's horror comedy only because it's got zombies. The kids, you never really feel like the kids are in danger. In fact, you never really feel like even David or the other thing I really liked that I thought was funny was David, when he's using his main weapon against the zombies at one point is a walker. That he takes away.
Yes. Oh my God, Meals on Wheels.
Yeah, that just was.
I was like, no.
Just kind of a weird juxtaposition of what the tool you're using. Anyway, and Mr. McGiggles, he takes out some kids too, so it's got that going for us. Some kid zombies. So anyway, yeah, I was chuckling along with it, and I enjoyed most of it, except for that first 15, 20 minutes, where he's just being a total ass. Once he gets to school and is trying to pretend he's somebody else for Miss Caroline, I thought it got better. Once the kids got in it, maybe that was it.
Well, the kids are cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not cute enough.
Not for somebody.
They're not cute enough. I did not like this movie. Oh my God. Oh, this is in the bottom of my this is ranked in the bottom of the year for me. I did not like it. I used to think Josh Gad was funny. Now I'm convinced he is not. He is horrible in this. He is beyond.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
Beyond phoning it in. He is just a turd in a suit. It is awful. It's
almost like somebody thought it was funny. And I don't know if this was his fault or the writer's fault. They thought it would be funny for the guy from Frozen to just swear a lot and hate kids.
It's terrible. I mean, even when it's actually trying to actually have funny dialogue other than spitting out cuss words, which I like. I mean, that's funny, but not here. But he's like revealing that he's basically a sex addict, on the roof thing. And it's just like, dude, that's horrible. That's bad delivery. That could be funny. And it is awful. I did not like Alexander England as Dave until the last bit, which I think, like you said, is the point, but I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less. And Lupita's Miss Caroline, she's delightful, but it's just not there. This is not funny. It's a bad rom-com at that, and the zombies are kind of Z grade, huh? Funny. I mean, there are some fun little bits, but not enough to make it worth the while as a zombie comedy. It's a mess. It's boring. It's unfunny. I despise this. Now, having said all that, Dave is right.
No.
Dave is right.
Good after that.
No, Dave is right. Once they're on the road in the tractor and the zombies start singing, the zombies start singing. Okay. That's the first original thing they did in the movie was 5 minutes before it's going to end. That's okay. But that was kind of cute. Didn't help them. Neither of the filmmakers or the zombies. But I am not a fan of this. But I was so let down. I was like, the entire time, what am I watching? What is going on? This is what is happening. I'm not laughing. This is supposed to be funny, and I'm in the mood to laugh. I'm here. I'm prepared. I want to laugh. I can step on my foot. I'll probably laugh. I'm not laughing at this movie. What's going on? Yeah, it's terrible. Don't bother. Sorry.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to be talking about this at the end of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
I like
God.
it way more than you.
How can we turn that frown upside down.
Well, we could do really nasty, horrible things to Josh Gad, who I don't want to see him in another movie ever. I'm sorry. That's how bad his performance is in this.
Wow.
How utterly
my
inane
God,
it is.
you're
I don't even want to see him in anything. I'm not going to see Frozen 2 now. Forget it.
Done.
Okay. Clue. I wasn't going to go see it in the first place, but that's okay.
Yeah, but we know you've got the Disney Channel now. You can watch it.
Well,
Nobody
yeah.
will know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't think any of it was cute? Like, really?
Okay.
None of it got to you?
I will say one thing was cute.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to say something? No. Okay. The song. Sweet
What?
Caroline. Okay.
Oh, gross!
Oh, I hated that.
Favorite part.
Oh, I thought that was okay. So there's.
I hate that song so much.
I don't necessarily like the song. I like the sentiment. I like the sentiment.
Doc, I actually thought about you when that came on because it made me think of when we were at karaoke. Yeah. And everyone was singing that. I was like,
Yes.
oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the sentiment that it had, worked on me, and I liked it. But otherwise, man, oh God, I hate this movie.
Oh my God, you do. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry.
Dave. I actually like Gwen better than this.
What?
Wow.
God, I question everything about you right now.
Did you watch this movie?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I was just watching it lightheartedly, I guess, though, and I thought the kid, like basically, they got me the moment the kid became Darth Vader. When I saw him with the kid, I was like, okay, this is cute.
I will contradict myself slightly when I have my favorite scene, but I dislike this movie.
Well, I mean, that's fair. I mean, okay,
Dave Dreher. I'm sitting at a table with a sign that says "Little Monsters sucks. Prove me wrong." Change your mind. What? Do that. What am I missing here? Is there anything, or did you dislike it like I did?
I certainly didn't dislike it as much as you. I see the same fault you've seen. Josh Gad was horrible in this. He really was. I don't know why he would have even agreed to play that character. But the movie was definitely much better once he was gone, once they disposed of him. And, again, I think some of the individual performances in the latter half of the movie kind of saved it for me. I was probably not heading down too far from where you were at, Doc, but really, for me, that last 15 minutes from the tractor trailer through the end of the movie, for me, it elevated it to okay, maybe you should watch this feature. Okay. You got to drudge through all the shit to get to that. But unlike
shit, you are saying it.
Unlike Gwen, at least there is something at the end. When you get to it, there's something there worth waiting for.
Oh, is there? All right. Alexander Englund was in Alien Covenant, Dave. What was his character's name? Quick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exactly. You're not going to remember him. Sorry, David Alexander Englund.
What was he? Who was he?
I don't even know. It was a character named Anchor. But
Anchor.
Yeah. Okay. Crystal,
yes.
Is this guy okay? Is he funny? Is he good for this role, Alexander Englund?
Yeah, I think so. There was a moment actually when he responded to something that the teacher said, and I was like, that was really good. I mean, was he playing it a little over the top? Yes, but considering the type of movie this was, I mean, that was to be expected. It was a silly, over the top movie. I mean, the whole story is ridiculous. The fact that them acting like this teacher would actually react this way and really try to shelter the children from everything that was going on and stuff is so ridiculous. So yeah, I liked him.
Okay.
I mean, I found him to be kind of charming, and with her too. There were some moments between them, and maybe the whole Sweet Caroline thing. I I think it's sweet. It's cute.
So you're saying there's chemistry between them?
Yeah, I think there was.
Mhm.
I don't know. I am not into all that like rom-com stuff, but I liked it. I thought it was. I mean, of course, he's such a loser, and then of course you see him go through his transition and about how he doesn't want to have kids, and then he's like, gonna be such a good uncle now. I mean, it's all just cheesy fun. That's all it is. It's just silly. It's just silly.
All right. Well, Jeff, I think if you strip away everything and leave the kid in the Darth Vader costume, you might have a good movie. But that's actually summed up as a commercial that we had a few years back in a car commercial, wasn't it?
What?
Do you guys remember the car commercial with Darth Vader? No?
No.
Okay.
Sounds
All right.
fun though.
Yeah, they were using the Force to turn the car on and off.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, really, what do you have? Just convince me I'm wrong. With the kids. Tell me why they're good.
The kids?
Yes. Why? Oh, God.
Do you really want to be convinced that you're wrong? Do you want to like this movie? Do you?
You guys, I want you to find a leg to stand on. You guys haven't convinced me. This movie, it's really good.
Well, I guess the problem is it's just that I think it's cute, and that's not what you're looking for. That doesn't do it for you.
I'm starting to think that that first 20 minutes grated so much on me that when it started to lighten up, I was just so relieved that I started chuckling. No, I thought it was funny. I laughed at it, and I'm with you. I'm totally with you on Little Evil last year, but this one I think has a different vibe. I'm like Crystal. When it first started, I was like, "What the hell's going on here? What happened where's the teacher and the kids and the zombies?" You know?
Yeah, I actually after I started watching it, I was like, "Wait, is this a horror movie?" And I actually paused it to make sure. I was like, "Oh no, this is the right one." Okay, yeah.
So yeah, and he was very irritated, Alexander England as Dave at the beginning, but I think I don't know.
Isn't he
maybe
supposed to be?
Maybe that was good acting. Yeah, and I bought his conversion, I guess. And when he started actually, caring about the kids and that stuff at the thing, I don't know. I liked it. Is that last little parade thing awesome? Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great finale. But I enjoyed it up to there, especially when I was just on pins and needles waiting for Darth Jr. to show up. No, I liked the little girl. I thought the little girl was cool. I liked the little jerky boy Max. He was a nice repetition that went off the wall there, and then at some point he got to play putt-putt golf with the zombies. So I don't know. I enjoyed him. It was cute kids. I'm sorry.
I didn't think
maybe it was the grandpa. Maybe it was the grandpa.
Maybe. I will appreciate. I will admit. I appreciate that the character of Dave had an arc. He did. He had an arc. They gave him an arc, and that you don't always get that in.
Right. Well, go back to the kids again. To me, the kids, they actually, especially that Felix, but they actually acted like kids. They didn't act like kids saying adult lines, which happens a lot of times. It was kids saying kid lines.
Okay.
Oh my God! When he rescues the goat too, and he does the Darth Vader thing to close the gate, I was like, "Oh my God! How could you not think that is just absolutely the stupidest, cutest thing ever?" Like
I said, that is the commercial I'm talking about, and I did love that commercial as much as I love that scene. But that's a scene, not a movie. So. Dave.
Okay. All right.
Dave. Oh, yeah. I feel it. I feel it, Crystal. I feel there's a little hatred oozing through the thing there. Dave. There might be some bad feelings there now.
Oh my God. I love you.
Relationships have been lost.
I think so. All right, Dave.
You're just so funny when you're wrong, Doc.
That's what I needed to say.
Thank you, Jeff. Oh my, Dave.
You can shut Duck up. You can shut Duck up real easy with two easy words. Area 51. That's all you got to say. And everything he says after that doesn't matter.
There are blemishes. There are blemishes. Dave, you are always the guy we go to for the gore, and we're going to stop our conversation with this. The gore in here, how does it measure up? At least for a horror comedy, does it?
Well, at times I felt like maybe they were trying to pay homage to like some of Savini's work, like in Dawn of the Dead. I mean, you see a lot of the gray cake type makeup on the zombies, and I don't know if that was because of lack of budget, because they had to pay Lupita so much to be in the movie, or if they were actually trying to pay homage to that. I don't know where they were going with that. I really don't. I think you called it like C grade, and I would agree with that. I mean, they weren't horrible effects, but there was certainly nothing groundbreaking there whatsoever. And like I said, at times it almost seemed like they were kind of making fun of it. You kind of had the baker zombie and the assorted people. It just looked like they were in their everyday life, and suddenly they were zombies. There was, and correct me if I'm wrong here, there was one scene where I'm trying to remember if it must have been one of the employees of the park or whatever, and it was rather graphic. They like fall down, and you kind of get a shot from above, like looking down as they're ripping this poor person apart.
Oh yeah,
that was okay, but again, none of it was like wow, that was some groundbreaking stuff. So I think your original statement of C grade effects stands still. I mean, this looks like it was some makeup school graduates who got to have some fun, throw some blood around.
Well, yeah, I think that's all they were really going for.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And there's a possibility that some of it was homage. A lot of it really did highly resemble some of Savini's work in the original Dawn of the Dead.
Okay, fair enough. I do think that it's better in quote unquote sci-fi movie effects a lot of times.
Oh yeah, it wasn't asylum. It wasn't asylum quality effect by any stretch. Yeah. All
right. Well, let's wrap this up. Let's give our final thoughts, our score, and favorite scene for Little Monsters. And Chris, start us off.
Well, I think if you just want a fun, cute little movie to watch that has a little bit of zombies, then I think this is going to be a cute movie to watch. I think it's fun. I think it's just cute. That is all. It's cute. It's nothing that's going to like blow your mind or anything, but it is okay. I'm giving it a 2.75.
2.75.
Yeah, and my
all right.
my favorite. Actually, there's a couple scenes that I like, but my favorite scene is I can't shoot kids again. Okay, and then open fire. Like they go open fire on this. I think it was so funny. I was like, oh my God, that it just really that whole last like we had talked about. But yeah, oh God, it's such a great little like ending to like wrap it up. And it's like, well, oh well, bye. Yep. So I think it'll be fun for those who watch it. Mm-hmm. Prove Doc wrong. Maybe you can convince them.
Prove Doc wrong.
All right. Well, I'm also not a fan of Taylor Swift, and if I heard "Shake It Off" one more time, I think I would tear my head off. But that would be better than the movie if I did that. So anyway, Dave Dreher, what are your final thoughts? Your score, favorite scene, Little Monsters.
Monsters. I'm going to go with Crystal on this. I'm giving it a 2.75. I enjoyed it. It was okay. I was a little annoyed with it. Like I said, about the first 2/3, but I really thought it ended super strong. I really liked the ending. I actually went back and rewatched the ending again. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the ending. I liked how they tied the characters up, and how it all kind of went full circle. It was good, and Dave ends up being a superstar, as we know all Daves are anyway.
Word.
So, but no, I enjoyed it. It wasn't a great movie. It wasn't a horrible movie. It was certainly better than Gwen.
Oh yeah.
And favorite scene, I'm just going to go with the scene that kind of turned it all around for me, and that's when they're in the tractor and they realize that the zombies will sing along with them, and I just thought that was really funny. I got a real kick out of watching them come to that realization and then utilize it to aid in their escape. So yeah, it's not a horrible movie. It's fun.
It's horrible. Jeff Mohr, what is your final thoughts, your score and favorite scene?
And this is I think it's a fun little movie, and got cute kids, and as we all said, the guy's got an arc.
Guy's got an arc here,
and so I got to be the highest on both of them this time. I got to give it a 3 because I couldn't go lower than Gwen, so I'm giving this a 3, and it does a totally different movie, just a fun little cute movie.
You're the oddball. You're the oddball here, Doc. What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
Well,
just saying.
We're all a little odd.
That is true. That's true.
So I was going to say, I don't know if this is the same scene Dave said, but I'm going to actually switch it just a little bit. But when they start singing, "If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands," and they like flap their stumps together, I was dying. And if that is the same one, then I'll go back to Darth Vader, "Boy, I'm your father, mommy." That cracked me up. That was the first time I really thought that was something really funny.
Oh, it's cute.
You guys are insane. This movie.
Oh my
blows. God! It's terrible. It's not funny. It's not romantic. It's cute. Okay, it's cute, but okay. This movie disappointed me on all, and like I said, Josh Gad is the worst. He's so
You're right there.
He is so bad. He has ruined my entire opinion of him from this performance alone.
You know what? I know what your problem was with the movie. Your expectations were too high.
Well, obviously.
Yep. I had no expectations going in. And you had high expectations.
Maybe. I mean, I'll admit I was looking forward to this. And I sat there wondering why. I did not find it funny, although there are amusing moments, and I will point one out as my favorite scene. And yes, I do agree, the last 20 minutes, which maybe even like 5. I don't know if it's actually 20 minutes. It's just real short. It's the final scenes. It's cute, and they did something original. They could have done this original stuff far earlier. Yeah, I dislike this movie so much. I'm giving it a 1.5.
Wow.
1.5, and it is low on my list for this year. Mainly just because how much it, like you said, it disappointed me. It might have been, it did not live up to my expectations at all. Yeah, is that fair? Maybe not, but it sucks. Favorite scene? We did mention it. I was hoping we wouldn't, so I could bring it up. But yes, as the boy dresses up at Darth Vader and runs through because he's, he thinks he has the Force, right? So he's running through and he's zapping the zombies left and right, just because he can run fast. And he does see the little, was it a calf, right? Little calf. And he's doing the Force thing, and the gate shuts.
Oh, it's so cute.
And it was, I mean, that was perfect. So well done. And, followed by him driving the tractor, which of course throughout the entire film, he was talking about how he loved tractors, and, Dave was like, "Why do you like tractors?" And, so that, that was a cool thing. So.
Oh, and he actually taught him how to drive it, didn't he?
Yeah. So Darth, of course, he couldn't drive it really well because he went through like the barn thing. But anyway,
oops.
Yeah. But at the same time, little Felix's Darth Vader was charming as hell. I'll give it that.
Well, so there's another thing in this movie that I'm sure it's in other movies. It's just not something I see a lot. But whenever I see slow zombie movies, I'm always wondering, why don't they just run through them? It's not like they can change directions really fast. And they never do that on The Walking Dead. It's always like I guess The Walking Dead tries to use herds and stuff, but I was sort of encouraged the fact that they were running.
They just,
And they do it well because this is one thing I noticed early on that gave me hope. It didn't pan out, but they see the one girl running the one survivor girl because she's running through them and never getting caught.
Right.
So that's what they decide to do, right? So show don't tell. That that's could have done a little more of that, but they did it there. So yeah, I hate this movie.
What? Are you serious?
Did you hear how much trouble they went to get the rights to Taylor Swift's song?
I did.
Oh.
I wish they had, but yes, But yeah, so Lupita, is a big fan of the song, and she has enough clout to go up to Taylor Swift herself and get her to change her mind.
Really?
Yeah,
That's actually pretty
Like
impressive.
the recording company wouldn't give them the rights.
Yep. So
Wow.
go to the source. Go to the source, and yep. So whatever they paid her paid off, and that probably alone. So. Right.
I don't hate Taylor Swift.
Oh,
I like Taylor Swift. I like her. I don't care.
Okay.
I'm not embarrassed. Mm-mm.
All right.
She's. I think she's a wannabe goth. I think she's got that like inner soul. She just doesn't live out. Mm-hmm.
All right. Fine.
Mhm.
Shake it off.
Yep. Shake it. God, don't make me sing that.
So many people are going to disagree with me, but this movie rubbed me the wrong way. All right, that's our review for Little Monsters that I put a little too much emphasis on what I thought. But sometimes I do that. I hope you enjoyed our reviews. We reviewed Gwen, which is showing up on Shudder, and Little Monsters, which is available on Hulu. So perfect films. Well, perfect opportunities for films during this holiday season. So curl up to one or the other or both. And if you'd like to let us know what you thought of them, please do so. Feedback at gruesomemagazine.com is the way to email us. You can go to Facebook and join the Horror News Radio Gruesome Magazine group, or you can go to gruesomemagazine.com and leave comments on our blog post. Any way you want to do it, we want to hear from you. Did you like these movies? Am I that wrong? As Dave pointed out, I did like Area 51. I am the only person that did. So
in the entire world,
not just on the group, not just in the group, entire world, outside of maybe the director. All right, well, I know you guys are shocked at me, but that hey, it happens every once in a while. Regardless, Crystal, Jeff, Dave, I am so glad you joined me tonight. Thank you so much.
You're lucky we did.
yes.
Oh, we're lucky. We're lucky.
No.
You
Thank
did.
you.
Oh, nice. Chef. Oh, man. Give that man a cookie. All right. That was awesome. All right. With that, sir, let's say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Gruesome Magazine.